Today's video is sponsored by Squarespace, so if you need a website, go to squarespace.com/𝐓𝐡𝐞. So the question today is it possible to make images on the dullest of dull days in a drab location with no colour, seemingly no life, no mood, no atmosphere, just a typical day in the depths of an English winter? Because that's what we have here. Is it possible to make meaningful images that might make your portfolio? Well, I'm not sure. I think if you're highly motivated, then absolutely yes. When you're highly motivated, you get excited about many things and you can create images almost anywhere. But most of us aren't that highly motivated. Those periods of motivation, they come and they go. And what happens is, as time goes on, as you become more and more of an experienced photographer, you become, I'm saying you, I'm really talking about me. You become a bit more fussy, you know? You need those epic locations. You need that inspirational lights. You need those unusual weather events. And when you don't have them, which more often than not is the case, what do you do? So I would say that I fall somewhere on the scale of highly motivated, very fussy, will only shoot in exceptional circumstances. I am about probably just over halfway this way. I have this YouTube channel which keeps me regular, which is nice. But I've got to be honest, sometimes I don't want to go out. I just think, what's the point? But I do think it's all about your state of mind and how you look at things, your viewpoint. Let me give you an example. Yesterday, I was driving, but I wasn't out doing photography, but I did have my camera gear. And when I'm running errands and out and about, I usually keep my camera gear in the back of my car because you never know. And yesterday, I did that exact thing and just happened upon just incredibly dense fog. But of course, I was in an incredibly dull landscape. So let me take you back in time to yesterday, and you'll see what I mean about how it's all about how you look at things. So I'm pretty sure that most of you will be able to relate to the frustrations of being out and about in beautiful, unexpected conditions, but not being able to find a photograph, not being able to stop, pull over and get your camera out. And it's funny because I would say that of all the grievances that landscape photographers have, the biggest one is when you're driving down the road, you see something amazing, and you can't stop to get a photograph. We've all been there, all of us. But that's exactly what I'm going through today. I had no intentions of doing any photography, but as per usual, if I go out and about on a drive, I'll throw my camera in the back, why not? And there was no forecast for any snow or any mist or anything like that. It looked like a pretty, well, it actually looked quite a nice day, quite sunny. So Took it for a little drive, just not too far from where I live. And before I knew it, I was driving through the thickest, most dense fog you have ever seen. And I'm just like in the middle of nowhere thinking, oh my God, there's nowhere for me to stop. I can't see anything because the fog's too thick. So eventually, driving down the road, I passed by this small pine forest right by the side of the road. The road's 20 feet that way. I couldn't resist. There's nothing special about this location other than the weather conditions, the fog, the thick mist and atmosphere. This is about as mundane a forest as you can get. But I'm still taking a shot and trying to make something because I need to release that frustration that's built up as I've been driving through all this mist and fog. So the image that I'm just about to take now is absolutely as basic as they come, but man, it just feels so good. So good to stop and get the camera out. So the way that I'm approaching this image, which, to be honest with you, is just a mundane shot, it's just a straightforward photograph, there's nothing fancy about it, but by embracing what I have, I feel I can create quite a nice, strong image, rather than dwell on the fact that I'm not in an ancient woodland or an ancient deciduous woodland or anything, or I don't have an epic view. I'm just, I don't know, being quite accepting of what I do have. And what I do have is beautiful mist and very uniform straight trees here in this plantation woodland that is not in the wilderness, it's not anywhere epic, it's very close to home. And by accepting that and working with it, I think you can create quite a nice image. So I could get my camera and point it in any direction and the images would more or less look the same, straight trees in mist, right? But I'm trying to finesse it, I'm trying to refine it to make the most out of it. And the way I'm doing that is just making sure that I've got balance within my frame, there's nothing creeping in from either side, and I'm also trying to find 3 prominent trees that are closer to the lens than anything else, and that gives me that depth and that balance and that simplicity and that minimalist, and you'll make the most of what you have. That's it. This is a nice image, it really is. f5.6, so that the tree at the front is pin sharp, everything else falls into beautiful softness with the mist. ISO 100, focus on the near tree, no filters, nothing. This is it. This is as straightforward as it gets. It's just beautiful, beautiful conditions. 2-second timer. Oh! It just feels so good. Not because I've created, a portfolio image, but just because, I'm finally able to stop and take a photograph, any photograph. So my best piece of advice with photography, I suppose any kind of photography, but in particular what I do, and I've given this advice many times, and that is always just shoot what you want to shoot. And what I mean by that is never force anything. I think the worst thing that you can do for your photography is to force a shot. Believe me, I've done it many times, I feel significant pressure to put these videos out, so sometimes I'll be out and I'll take a shot that I know isn't going to work and I know isn't good and I know that I don't like, but I feel I need to get a shot for the video. More often than not, I end up binning the video. And sometimes I put it out and then instantly regret it. But you really should only shoot what truly catches your eye. Now, that's not to say that everything you shoot needs to be a good image. It just means that you have to genuinely be curious about the subject you're shooting, be genuinely intrigued. And well, that's what's going on here. I've walked for a couple of miles now, and I'm surrounded by woodland and all kinds of interesting possible subjects, but nothing's caught my eye, absolutely nothing. Until now. And that is some lichen on the end of a log that's been cut. So it's obviously been here many years and lichen has started to grow, but it caught my attention so much because it's abstract, it's contrast. There's no light, so the contrast is perfect. And it reminds me of bubbles. One of the best times I've had with my photography is when I went to Canada and shot methane bubbles on Lake Abraham. That was fantastic. And I love the images from that trip, and I love the images of the bubbles. That is exactly what this reminds me of. So I'm going to set up, get the shot, because as luck would have it, the blooming cloud above me is starting to open up, which is not good for this particular subject. So I'll crack on, get the shot. So this is a kind of a cool image, actually. It's interesting. It's interesting how when we stop looking for images and stop trying, we start to see things. Just kind of letting go of all expectation is quite a healthy thing to do. It never guarantees photographs, obviously. And to be honest, nothing guarantees photographs. It's all about the creator. It's all about the photographer and what they see and what they interpret, you know, as the subjects as to whether or not they're going to make images. I don't actually know if what just came out of my mouth made sense then. So, yeah, this really intrigued me. I've opted for a vertical composition rather than the horizontal. I tried a square as well. But, yeah, it just looks like floating bubbles, and the warm brown tones of the log and then the kind of vibrant orange lichen with a very slight white edge to it, which gives it kind of this 3D effect, this depth and contrast. I am as close to this subject as I could be with this lens. I'm at 200mm and I am right on the edge of my focusing distance, my minimum focusing distance. So I hope the image is sharp. I hope the lens is of high enough quality. I've stopped it down to f8 to give me the best chance of a lovely, crisp, sharp image. And that's all there is to it. You know, it's not about taking the picture. That's easy, right? Technically, it's easy. Pretty much most landscape images are taken with the same settings. It's the seeing that's difficult. It's the motivation. It's coming out on days like this that are so incredibly dull. I can't even begin to explain how much I didn't want to come out today. And that's interesting because that's been how I felt for a while now. I feel really stifled with my photography, very stifled. You know, I'll confess, the way in which I find motivation, success and joy with my photography is to travel, it is to explore new locations, and it is to follow the weather and follow the conditions. All of that has been taken away, all of it. I can't go anywhere, I can't do anything, and I'm really struggling. So coming out on days like today and doing this and opening my mind to different subjects is nice, but it's not going to sustain me, I don't think. You know, I could get lucky and we have some belting conditions, but you can't rely on weather conditions and weather events to sustain your photography. So I don't know. I've had this idea of a different path with my photography for a long time, actually, and it's never quite felt right to give it a go. Think of it as a project. Maybe now's the time. And some people might like it, some people might not like it. Well, I don't know. But I feel that a change is what is going to motivate me best. When I first started photography, I was excited by everything. I wanted to photograph anything. I need that back. I need something new. I need a challenge. I need something different. Because at the minute, and I'm sure I'm not alone in this, it's tough. Well, there you go. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, everybody! This is my last video for 2020. I like this. And that misty tree shot I took yesterday seems to be alright as well. So, I'm not going to bring things down too low. But, I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's been a funny year. And I do go through, oh my god, I'm waffling on. Look at the time code on this. If you've followed this channel for a while, you'll know that I go through highs and lows. My lows almost always come in August and December. That's when my lows come. We're in December now and I am at a low. But it's deeper because any kind of freedom or kind of hope to be able to go somewhere and find something new is gone. It's been taken. So, no. But hey, I'm happy with this. Come on, I can't complain. Definitely can't complain. I've still got a job. It's just, yeah. I just need to do something different, that's all. Keep your eyes on the channel. Keep your eyes on the prize. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe for more depressing content. But I don't know. Yeah. Alright. 𝐓𝐡, focusing on the lichen. Beautiful, rich, warm colours. Soft glow from the clouds overhead. Minimum focus distance. Can't move a millimetre further forward. 2-second timer. I like it. You might not. Please leave your comments below. As always. Yeah, it's alright, it's alright. Well, this is pretty grim now. Let's be honest. It's raining, and it's incredibly muddy. But I do feel that I have achieved what I set out to achieve, and that was to change my state of mind, and to appreciate being out, and to create an image, which I've done. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go now. It's raining. It's muddy, and I've got things to do. Big thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. As a photographer, you're going to need a website. It's inevitable. So they're not cheap, they're not easy to build, very technical, very complicated. But at Squarespace, you can log on and do it all yourself using a drag and drop system. It is very straightforward, very simple. As I mention all the time, watch a couple of YouTube videos and bosh, you will knock yourself out a very good looking website with, I don't know, you can stick a shop in there, a store, online store, sell your prints, sell your images, you can register your own domain name. They've got customer service, got dripped on, customer service, 24/7 customer service. So if you get stuck, give them a bell. And that's that. So yeah, go to squarespace.com/Heaton and give it a free try. And if you like a free trial, use the offer code Heaton for 10% off your first purchase. So, 2021. Is in a couple of days. Is anything going to change? Who knows? But I know that I'm keeping my fingers crossed. So, join me next week when things might be the same or they might be a little bit different. Yeah.